Brunch is a weekend staple all across America, and for many people, having a delicious cup of coffee to go along with that meal is so important. So joining me today from Pressed Coffee is Andrew Robertson. Andrew, I'm so happy you're here to talk about one of my favorite beverages, and that is coffee. So first, tell us, what is Pressed Coffee?
So Pressed Coffee is local to Phoenix, specialty coffee roaster, been in business for 11 years, and we are after being on the cutting edge of making the best cup of coffee in the world.
What makes a really good cup of coffee? Because there's so many different types of beans out there. You're cooking at different temperatures, and maybe the technique that you're using. It could be the love that's put into it. So what makes a good cup?
That's right. So we have to acknowledge coffee is very subjective. You know, my grandfather would say that his favorite coffee is one, and I would say don't do it. You know, try something different. So everybody plays a little bit differently in that game, but we find the best cup of coffee is one that provides an experience. It might be that you prefer strawberries and blueberries in your coffee, and other folks like chocolate and nougat and caramel, those flavors. And so we want to be able to offer the full spectrum in our portfolio of coffees to say, if you're into full natural Ethiopians and you want a fruit bomb coffee, people that drink Cabernets like Big Napa Cabs typically want those full natural coffees.
Yeah.
There's a big parallel between coffee and wine, and that's kind of what we're tiptoeing the line into.
We know that culinary arts is a thing these days, and it hasn't left coffee in the dust. There's a thing called latte art. What is that?
So latte art is a really cool way to communicate to our customers a little something extra that we're glad they came to see us, and it's a customizable thing. So every customer that comes into Press will get latte art done in their cup. You should never see anybody do it with toothpicks or printers. They make this printer now for it.
Right.
It's all in the hands, technique, angle. Properly steamed milk for a latte should have a marshmallowy texture with microfoam. And whenever you can kind of angle your cup, make your pour properly, you can make some really crazy designs.
I love coming to your store to have a good cup of coffee, but sometimes I really want to make coffee at home. So what is the secret to making the perfect cup of coffee at home?
Yeah, so it really comes down to having perfect water, perfect coffee, and perfect brewing setup, which can be super simple. For the water, keep it simple, 125 parts per million total dissolved solids. The best way to do that is with distilled water and these third wave mineral packets. Add it to a gallon, you're good to go.
Okay.
On the coffee side, find a local specialty roaster. There's tons, every city has one. Find something that was roasted between 4 and 30 days previously. Anything before 4 days can be really gassy. It needs to off-gas and let go of that CO2. After 30 days, you start to lose a little bit of quality. And then lastly, on the equipment, get a cheap scale, get a great grinder. This is a Baratza Encore. It's really nice for consistency, and you need a kettle. Other than that, a couple of pour-over setups, and you're good to go.
How much do I put in to
So
make
you
a
want
cup?
to weigh it out, get a cheap scale if you can. I'm using 32 grams of our Java Jam Pit right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to add that to a pre-wet filter. It's just been washed with a little bit of water. And then on the ratio for the water side, we want to do 19 to 1. So for every 1 gram of coffee, 19 grams of water.
Okay.
Our final ratio for this guy is going to be 32 grams of coffee to 575 grams of water. And we just started with a quick pulse of 75 grams to get it nice and bloomed, we call it. Let go a lot of the CO2. Give it 30 seconds, and then we're going to add 100-gram pulses of water until we hit 575.
So there's math involved in this.
There's a little math. You're going to need a timer, and if you haven't had your cup of coffee yet, it does get challenging in the morning.
Yeah, because you really want to have that cup of coffee. For people like me who want to even keep it more simple, and I like to do drip coffee, is it possible to get a good cup of coffee using a drip maker?
It is. So Technivore Mocha Masters, who I love, this is top of the line for home use. It's not going to break the bank, but it will last you for 30 years. These are made in the Netherlands. Water temperature's perfect, 195 to 205 start to finish. Shower head percolator sprays all the grind so you get full saturation. It will make a perfect cup of coffee every time.
So you say invest in the maker, whatever technique you're using, and invest in some good beans.
That's right. These are going to be super important. Find what you love. Specialty coffee is kind of where craft beer was in the 80s. So everybody's going to the store and trying 6 different, beers a week or whatever. So with coffee, we like to do the same thing. Don't just have one coffee that you love. Try them all. There's so many specialty roasters doing so many great things around the country.
Right, all different flavors. Andrew, great information. I'm going to let you finish up the coffee. And if you want more information about Pressed Coffee, just head to their website.